Breaking news, the FBI sweeping in, making more than 30 arrests tonight, including an NBA star and an NBA coach who was coaching a big game just last night. Authorities say all part of a massive NBA and mafia gambling scandal. Investigators say they rigged poker games using high-tech devices, including an X-ray table that could read cards face down.
Story that has dominated the headlines. The FBI announced on Thursday that two major operations, one involving the sharing of insider information for betting on NBA games, and the other centering on rigged poker games using high-tech cheating devices, have led to the arrest of more than 30 suspects, some involved in organized crime.
They stormed his crew, and what they found could shake the sports world to its core. On October 23rd, federal agents hit Los Angeles and Akron at the same time, scooping up encrypted phones, secret notes, and messages linked to Operation Nothing But Bet. This wasn't just some small investigation. This was a full-blown federal sting that's got everyone in the NBA sweating right now. Court filings dropped a bomb mentioning coordination of privileged information, and that's not something you see in casual paperwork. That's code for something serious, something planned. Investigators had been watching money transfers and digital messages for months, tracing every suspicious move connected to LeBron's financial inner circle. Sources told the Post that on February 9th, 2023, Jones fired off a coded message to one of the betting insiders, teasing inside info that could swing the odds big time. It didn't stop there. Court docs allege that Jones spilled secret details about LeBron and Anthony Davis's game conditions, including a $2,500 tip that blew up in his face during the Lakers versus Thunder matchup in January 2024. Another file shows him telling someone to bet big on Milwaukee tonight, hours before LeBron sat out that night's game with the mysterious sore ankle. That same night, the Bucks crushed it, and that insider crew cashed out hard. But then, boom! Buried inside the FBI affidavit was a twist that no one saw coming. Investigators said they were comparing those private messages with outside ledgers tied to Sean Diddy Combs. Yes, that Diddy, the one now drowning in his own pile of legal chaos. Suddenly, this wasn't just about shady bets anymore. It was looking like a tangled web between Hollywood and the NBA. People started whispering, could LeBron's camp have even a tiny overlap with Diddy's old money networks? It went from sports scandal to possible corruption case real fast. We're talking power, influence, and money moving in ways that didn't add up. Federal agents weren't just checking texts, they were digging into transaction patterns flowing through sports management accounts and shell companies that once connected to Diddy's event empire. From flashy parties to player contracts, from private investments to sponsorship pipelines, everything was getting dissected. The deeper they dug, the clearer it got. This was way bigger than basketball. And then, chaos hit the business side. Within hours of those headline-making raids, two of LeBron's biggest sponsors froze their deals, claiming they needed clarity before moving forward. That move sent shockwaves through the industry. Fans panicked, investors freaked, and social media went wild. Meanwhile, LeBron's legal team stayed cool as ice. No drama, no speeches, just one calm line saying he was fully cooperating with authorities. But that quietness, it made everyone talk even louder. Then came the wildest twist. This scandal suddenly turned political. ESPN's Stephen A. Smith lit up the screen shouting, "He's coming and he's not going to spare anyone." People's jaws dropped when he clarified he was talking about Donald Trump. According to Smith, these raids weren't random at all. He hinted they were payback, a calculated strike meant to humiliate the NBA right as the new season was kicking off. This isn't just drama anymore. It's a full-blown saga and everyone's watching to see who goes down next. The backlash hit fast. FBI Director Kash Patel didn't waste a second clapping back on Fox News, blasting Stephen A. Smith's theory as the most absurd thing I've ever heard. But Smith wasn't backing down, not even a little. Days later on his podcast, he doubled down hard, saying, "I said what I said and I meant it." He wasn't denying the investigation. He was calling out the timing, claiming it all smelled like political theater. While TV pundits screamed back and forth, federal offices in New York and Los Angeles were moving in silence, and behind those closed doors, things were heating up fast. While the world argued, the feds were deep diving into piles of seized electronics, and what insiders say they found left even top investigators stunned. Sources say that encrypted messages linked to LeBron included contacts tied to Diddy's old event crew, the same group now drowning in serious legal trouble. Those messages allegedly mentioned elite gatherings that prosecutors later described in court as disgusting, shameful, and disturbing.
Chauncey Billups is in trouble, and Terry Rozier is in trouble, and he's like, Trump's coming, y'all, Trump's coming. And, and I'm like, I hope he is. Because our sports world is corrupt, and it's promoting things that need to be cleaned up.
Post that Jones sent a message to one of the betting ring members on February 9, 2023, urging him to place a large bet on the Lakers' opponent, the Milwaukee Bucks, because James would be out with an injury that night.
No one knows if LeBron had any idea what those messages were really about, but his name showing up in data connected to the same FBI cyber team that cracked the Diddy case, that's enough to send the internet into meltdown. The overlap between both investigations is just too wild to ignore. Remember those massive raids on Diddy's New York and LA mansions back in March 2024? Guess what? Those were the exact same regions where the FBI just ran new searches this month. Both probes focused on the same suspicious pattern: encrypted chats, secret transfers, and money trails crossing between entertainment empires and sports accounts. People online are asking, is this all just coincidence, or is something way bigger hiding in plain sight? Investigators aren't letting up, and the deeper they dig, the crazier it gets. We're talking offshore transfers, encrypted payments, and hidden contact lists connecting people no one ever thought would overlap. According to insiders, the same entertainment pipeline that Diddy allegedly used to shuffle appearance fees might have also moved cash linked to Damon Jones's betting crew. There's still no concrete proof LeBron was directly tied to any of that. But come on, the optics are ugly. Just the rumors alone have sent shockwaves through the NBA and Hollywood. Reports claim LeBron's seized devices held years' worth of financial records and private messages from the same period when Jones was still part of his close circle. Now, panic's creeping through the league. Insiders say NBA Commissioner Adam Silver privately told his staff that the integrity of the game is facing its toughest test in decades. Over in the Lakers camp, the mood is tense. Security teams are digging through old travel logs, visitor passes, and private jet access lists, trying to figure out who might have had inside info about player injuries and team strategies. And here's the craziest part. Jones wasn't even officially employed by the Lakers, but somehow he was everywhere. He popped up in locker rooms, hopped on team flights, and even showed up at private practice sessions. According to federal papers, he was out in Vegas bragging about being LeBron's best friend, a claim that allegedly helped him slide into underground poker games and high roller circles packed with big-time gamblers. That access? It opened doors, and now it's opening investigations. This is more than a scandal. It's a tangled storm of money, loyalty, and access that's threatening to blow the lid off the hidden side of professional sports. The feds are peeling back layers that were never meant to be seen, and every new detail makes it harder to look away. Then came another firestorm. A 2021 Instagram live clip resurfaced, showing LeBron laughing with Diddy, saying, "Ain't no party like a Diddy party." At the time, it looked like harmless fun between two superstars. But now, after Diddy's conviction and all those shocking reports about his secret freak-off events, that same clip feels straight up eerie. Fans are replaying it nonstop, breaking down body language and tone like detectives. What once felt lighthearted now feels suspicious. When LeBron was asked months ago if he'd ever been to Diddy's parties, he brushed it off, saying, "I'd rather not comment until I know what's public." Back then, that sounded smart. Now, after the raids and all these headlines, that one line hits totally different. Word on the street is that the FBI's Los Angeles division has built a special task force just to track communication overlaps between athletes and former entertainment insiders who were once part of Diddy's network. And they're not just asking if LeBron ever went to one of those infamous parties. They're digging into whether his financial network ever touched accounts now flagged for suspicious activity. This story's no longer just about sports or music. It's about a web of power, fame, and secrets colliding in real time. Federal agents are tearing through every single seized device, tablets, backup phones, encrypted drives, even private emails, chasing data trails like bloodhounds. And here's the wild part. Reports say some of those devices pinged in Beverly Hills and Miami on the same weekends those sketchy, elite gatherings were allegedly happening. Coincidence? Please. It's got everyone talking.
The first indictment involves 6 defendants. This scheme is an insider sports betting conspiracy that exploited confidential information about National Basketball Association athletes and teams.
On the outside, LeBron's cool as ice, smiling courtside, shaking hands with celebs, pretending nothing's wrong, but insiders say that calm is pure strategy. Behind closed doors, his travels slowed way down, every word goes through lawyers first, and several major appearances have mysteriously vanished from the calendar. It's that eerie calm before the storm, and people are asking how long he can keep this poker face before it all blows wide open. Former teammates say he's furious, but staying collected. He knows that one slip-up could land on every headline or even show up in a courtroom. Insiders claim he's venting privately, but keeping his circle tiny, fully aware that every single move is being watched. And the feds? They're split. Some prosecutors think he's just a loyal friend caught up in Damon Jones's chaos. But others, they're whispering that he might have known way more than he's ever admitted. Then, just as the public started forming their opinions, boom! Another twist dropped. Sources claim the encrypted devices seized from LeBron's Ohio mansion contained archived financial records, and not small ones either. We're talking transfers running through entertainment foundations between 2022 and 2024. Now investigators are cross-checking those numbers against financial data from Diddy's convicted network. That overlap has everyone's eyebrows flying sky high. People are wondering, is it a freak coincidence or something darker hiding under the surface? Because if those payments even hint at insider profits or secret payouts, this could flip instantly. From cooperation to criminal conspiracy, prosecutors are staying quiet, throwing out the classic ongoing review line. But one senior agent allegedly told a colleague, "The devices are talking." That one sentence has the internet spinning out. What does it mean? What could they have found? No one outside that room knows for sure. But one thing's for certain. This is way past just a few shady bets now. This is about power, control, and how dangerously close sports fame can dance with Hollywood excess. The feds didn't just snag LeBron's phones. They grabbed years of private messages, money logs, and personal data. The exact years when Damon Jones was allegedly cashing in off his back. Behind sealed courtroom doors, prosecutors are circling the biggest question of all. Was LeBron the mastermind? Or just the pawn caught in a betrayal he never saw coming? Remember, LeBron built his empire on control. Control of his image, his legacy, his brand. But right now, the only thing he's got under control is his silence, and that silence is screaming louder than words. What started as a simple probe into a friend's sketchy decisions has snowballed into a monster web of money, loyalty, and influence, connecting two worlds that were never supposed to collide. Pro sports and elite entertainment. And that tiny $2,500 tip Jones made from spilling Anthony Davis's injury, that's baby money compared to what's being whispered about now. Analysts say millions moved through accounts tied to Jones's betting network. And part of that cash allegedly flowed into entertainment companies once linked to Diddy's circle. That's not random, that's a trail. Investigators now think Jones wasn't just a friend making dumb bets, he was a middleman. Someone who used his friendship with LeBron as camouflage to quietly pass along insider info for profit. And those casual texts about injuries, they weren't locker room talk. They were time-stamped and coded messages, part of a whole system designed to cash in before news went public. In plain talk, Jones already knew when LeBron would sit out before the team even announced it. That's why FBI digital teams are now reconstructing deleted messages, encrypted chats, and financial transfers connecting athletes, agents, and entertainment execs. Every detail counts, every number, every screenshot, every little bubble of text. The more they dig, the more it looks like a whole underground operation hiding in plain sight. Now it's all about timestamps, every deleted message, every backup drive. Former associates are being grilled because even one stray text could connect this betting ring to something much larger, a federal-scale financial probe. And while the law tears into the data, Hollywood's elite are quietly panicking because this investigation is dragging their world right into the mess. Those old clips of LeBron joking with Diddy on Instagram Live, the ones where he said, "Ain't no party like a Diddy party," are being replayed non-stop. Prosecutors are treating them as timeline markers, not memes, checking proximity, tone, and the exact dates to connect dots. It's not about guilt by association, it's about access, patterns, and timing. Sources claim guest lists from Diddy's most exclusive events are now being picked apart, and LeBron's name reportedly shows up on at least one. And he's not the only big name scrambling. Other major celebs are now rushing to scrub photos, delete old posts, and wipe digital traces that connect them to those now infamous gatherings. The PR cleanup is happening fast, and everyone's wondering, what are they trying to hide? This scandal's no longer just sports gossip. It's turning into a full-blown cultural earthquake shaking up both Hollywood and the NBA. But here's where things take a dark, dangerous turn. Legal experts have now confirmed that the Department of Justice officially slapped the RICO statute onto Operation Nothing But Bet. That's right, the same law used to crush organized crime families. And once RICO gets involved, it means the feds think they're looking at a structured criminal network, not just a few bad bets. Under RICO, the government doesn't even need a confession. They just need a pattern. And rumor has it, those patterns might be sitting inside LeBron's seized devices. Now get this, the FBI grabbed those electronics the same week Diddy was sentenced to 4 years in federal custody. Officials tried to brush it off as a routine follow-up, but insiders say it was a strategic hit, timed perfectly to cross-check any overlapping financial data while Diddy's files were still burning hot in court. It's giving precision move, not coincidence. Behind the scenes, the pressure's closing in on Damon Jones hard. Word is, prosecutors have thrown him an offer that could change everything, leniency for cooperation. All he's got to do is tell investigators what LeBron knew and when he knew it. That's a dangerous deal, because if he flips, this story flips too, from betrayed superstar to global icon accused of playing both sides. The feds are running their classic carrot and stick play, and Jones is right in the middle of it. Prosecutors clearly think he's holding the missing puzzle piece that connects all these money trails and coded messages. His lawyers keep dodging with no comment, which only makes it messier and more suspicious. Meanwhile, inside the NBA, quiet tension has exploded into full-blown panic. League executives have launched massive internal audits on data security, sponsorships, and player access. And get this, 2 players have already been quietly placed on indefinite leave, though their names haven't leaked yet. The league's clearly trying to clean house before this blows up even worse. Behind closed doors, major sponsors are freezing everything LeBron-related. Marketing teams are in lockdown mode, halting campaigns and reworking deals until the storm passes. One insider said it best, the brand can't risk being even a backdrop in this kind of storm. That says it all. The NBA's not just scared of one player's downfall, they're terrified that private locker room info might have been traded like currency by people deep inside the circle. That's the real nightmare. Not just the betting, but what else could be buried in those encrypted phones. Investigators aren't only tracking gambling slips anymore, they're sifting through charity ledgers, event invites, and private chats tied to entertainment insiders who once helped organize Diddy's high-end parties. If even one message shows financial overlap or coordination between those worlds, this could hit both sports and Hollywood like a bomb. A federal analyst summed it up perfectly. The overlap between fame and finance is where the truth hides. And that truth, it might be sitting right now inside a federal evidence vault. LeBron's usual confidence has turned into something else, a kind of controlled silence. His socials, dead quiet, just old promotions and recycled highlights. No live posts, no responses, no raw reactions. Insiders say he's calm but calculated, every word now filtered through lawyers. The man who once told every story about his career is now watching strangers write the story of his life. It's surreal, watching the fall of an empire once seen as untouchable. For 20 straight years, LeBron James wasn't just a basketball legend, he was the blueprint, discipline, power, perfection. But perfection always cracks eventually, and every new federal file adds another one. Those seized devices could hold harmless stuff, family notes, random texts, flight info, or they could contain the evidence that changes everything. Evidence that shows where the money moved, who knew what, and when the game really started. LeBron spent decades building his throne, but somewhere in a locked evidence room might be a phone that could rewrite his entire legacy. The question now isn't whether he's guilty, it's how far the FBI is willing to go to prove it, and who else could fall when they do. So what do you think is hidden inside those devices? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Is this a setup or the real deal? Hit that like button, share this insane story, and don't forget to subscribe because this saga is getting deeper, darker, and crazier by the day. See you in the next one.